let's go back to Nora and Gail out in Las Vegas.
Thanks.
Thank you. With CBS News political director and Face the Nation moderator John Dickerson.
Thank you so much, Margaret. Lots to talk about in last night's debate.
Here we are again.
Here we are again. I think we've gone
heard
through
this song.
We've gone through the rigged discussion, which was unprecedented to hear that from a nominee.
Yeah, I mean, it's unprecedented for this reason. It's that there are irregularities in elections, sure, but Donald Trump is overstating the case to undermine the legitimacy of the election, either to get himself out of what he thinks might be a bad result, or to whip up his supporters and say, this election's being stolen from you, watch out. Go into these neighborhoods, into these cities where there's going to be a big Democratic vote and watch them, which Democrats read as intimidation. He's doing this all before the vote ever happened. And the reason that sends shockwaves through Republican ranks is it's another sign of unpredictability from Donald Trump, that he's going to kick out a pillar of democracy because things aren't going his way, and that's more. I mean, this is one in a series, not just out of.
But many on Team Trump are comparing it to Al Gore. Is that a fair comparison?
Al Gore did it after the election. This is happening before the election.
And he was not claiming that the election was rigged at the time either.
No, he was debating a specific case, and this is doing it all beforehand. And also, by the way, what he said in the debate, which is not that he, is on top of everything he's been saying out on the stump, which he's been using to rile up his voters. So it has this double power.
Donald Trump went into this debate behind. We saw in the CBS poll last night, people think she won. Outreach. He's lost ground. Was he able to make any outreach last night? She was punching on every issue.
She was.
Trade, abortion, guns. I mean, she was punching on everything.
She was, but he was also doing very well on his goals, which were basically to point out that she's been in the mix for 30 years and hasn't succeeded. I mean, his argument is change. The problem with the story about rigged is that the challenge with Donald Trump is always, is it too much change? Is it change that turns into chaos? And that answer is more on the chaos and less on the change. So it suggests he's a more risky candidate, and that's what's worried those voters who haven't jumped into the Trump camp. They've always worried that he's too risky. That was a risky answer.
Today, Hillary Clinton's getting very high marks for her chronological takedown of Donald Trump, where she did the 30 years of experience and did decade by decade all the things that she has done, ending with saying, I was in the briefing room for Osama bin Laden while he was hosting Celebrity Apprentice.
Yeah.
To leave that note, I thought was very interesting.
Although I wonder, because, people are basically thinking that those who like Donald Trump like the idea that he was off doing something else. And just because they're too
by the Justice Department?
Well, that's if they don't, but the people who like Donald Trump think, yes, he has some rough edges, but he can come in and use the business success. I thought actually his response to that was quite good, which was, I was off building a big brand and a business that's been successful, employing lots of people, and that's what people like about him. That's why they trust him on the economy. So I thought he actually in that pivoted quite nicely to his answer.
His frustration seemed to come through at the end when he said she's a very nasty woman.
Particularly after having said, I have great respect for women. That sort of undermined his own case in the actual debate.
Yeah, that drew a big laugh in the room when he said, I have respect for women. Yeah. Ending with nasty women, not so good.
John Dickerson, thank you so much.